Let's go. Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Espresso series. For those who don't know, my name is Mark Armstrong, one of the founders of RateMyAgent, and really excited today. Really excited for two reasons. Look, we're in the office, back in the office in Victoria. Out of first step out of COVID lockdown. So I'm really excited. Might even head down to the Cherry Tree for a beer after this. So anyway, we're not here to talk about drinking beer. If you do want to talk about drinking beer, feel free. But anyway, but hey, we've got something really exciting to launch, and that is Google My Business for agents. As everyone knows, we launched Google My Business for agency level a little while ago, and our sales team just kept coming back to us every day saying, agents want it for themselves. They want the individual Google My Business for themselves as agents, and our teams pulled it together. Really awesome what the team have done during COVID to keep building and developing software, and we're really happy to announce that we've launched the first phase of Google My Business for agents. There's other things that we want to do. We want to evolve it over time, but we've got it to the point where we're happy to get it out there and start using it. So there's four things I really want to do today. As I said, we'd like to do this in a relaxed way. If people have got questions, please, actually I've got to change that to all attendees so I can see. If you've got questions about what we're doing here, please put it in the chat and I'll get to it and absolutely talk about it as we go through. So first thing I want to talk about is just what is Google My Business, and how do you set up a Google My Business listing, and is it right for a real estate agent? So the background on Google My Business, I think people remember Google had a product called, there was a different sort of social media product that they, what was it called, Ed? Google Plus. I think it was called Google Plus, something like that. Anyway, it was a complete failure. And then Google really diverted their attention to the GMB, the Google My Business listing page. And that's really where Google has got a lot of focus, at the whole team at Google that are evolving Google My Business. And why is it really important? I'm going to show you in a minute, but it's really important that when someone searches for you as an agent, your Google My Business listing comes up with all of your Google reviews and posts and contact information and all that sort of stuff. And if you don't have a Google My Business listing, it just won't be there. You're missing all of that great opportunity to get those reviews. We believe Google reviews are really important, and I'm going to talk about that. That's why we syndicate into Google reviews. A lot of people think that an individual agent is not allowed to set up a Google My Business listing, that it's only for the agency. That is not true. I'm going to show you in Google's T's and C's that there is a carve out for agents and doctors and lawyers and specific groups that are allowed to have their own Google My Business page. So I just want to show you an example here of an agent who's got a Google My Business listing compared to an agent who doesn't. So let me share my screen. Share. So I hope everyone can see that. If you can't see that, I'm sure someone will let me know. There we go. So as you can see here, I've just typed in Edward Hobbs reviews. All of his RateMyAgent reviews are coming up the top here. So he's got, a heap of reviews, 264 reviews. But you can also see over here, this is his own Google My Business listing. It specifically relates to Edward Hobbs. So when I type in Edward Hobbs reviews or just Edward Hobbs, his Google My Business listing comes up here as well. If I type in Naira Ewing's here, and Naira's again got a heap of RateMyAgent reviews, 449 reviews, but you can see here there's all that blank space. She's missing that opportunity. Naira, I don't know if you're watching. Thanks for supporting RateMyAgent. I know you love it and you're an award winner. But there's a great opportunity here to fill out that blank space, that white space on the Google search. When someone types in your name as an agent, you really want to give them as much information as possible. You want to be demonstrating everything that you can. So there's a really clear difference between an agent who does have a Google My Business listing compared to an agent who doesn't have a Google My Business listing. So really important. Why would you set up one of these Google My Business listings? It's completely free. Like, Google's not charging anything for these things. And it doesn't mean that they I assume that Google may well try and monetize in the future. Unlikely that they'll try and monetize just the setup of the listing. They may try to monetize other areas, and we're not 100% sure as to what they'll do there. But at this stage, it's completely free to set up. As I said before, we get a lot of questions from agents who say, are we allowed to set up a Google My Business listing? Now, your relationship with your agency, we don't get involved in that. That's really a discussion between you and your agency itself. But in terms of Google and Google's requirements, I'm just here on the Google My Business help page. And I'm going to show you this little button here that says, or this little menu item here that says individual practitioners. And if I click on that, it talks about who an individual practitioner is: doctors, lawyers, real estate agents. So what it's saying here is that if you're a public facing, here it says you operate in a public facing role, as a doctor does, as a lawyer does, as a real estate agent does, then you are able to set up your own Google My Business listing. So that's really important. It's very clear, the direction from Google, that you are not breaking Google's T's and C's as we understand it from this help article, that you are allowed to set up a Google My Business listing. And how you set it up, we have a really great support article that we'll share. Emma or someone will share it in the chat for you, and we'll certainly, if you want any more information about how to set up a Google My Business listing for yourself, this article will help you. But you can always get in touch with us at support@ratemyagent.com.au. That's support@ratemyagent.com.au. We'll send an email out tomorrow so you've got all this information. And we do have a special offer if you do want to upgrade to our Google My Business product that I'm going to show you, is covered under our Pro subscription. So if you do, we do have a special offer where if you pay for 12 months up front, we'll be giving you a 20% discount. So I shouldn't be selling, I should be showing you how it works. But that's just Steve, I've done the plug for you. So let's get into it, and let's show you what we've done within RateMyAgent. The very first step for everyone is to set up that Google My Business listing. It's free, it's easy. I've got a couple of questions here, I think. Chat, there we go. Can see. All right, Steve just told me to love my work because I've done a plug. There you go. So what you'll notice when you log into your profile, you'll have a new section, as you can see, new, called linked accounts. And this is where you'll be able to link your Google My Business page. I'm in an agent's profile here. If I click on settings, you see that Jamie's linked in connected his own Google My Business page. If that was not active, it would just say connect, really easy, connect the Google My Business page. You need to log into Google, your Google account, and away you go. So it's really, really easy. And there's two things that we're really going to be looking at here. The first one I'm going to go through is the Google reviews. So like I said before, we think Google reviews are really, really important. But one of the limitations with Google reviews is the efficiency of collecting a Google review is nowhere near as efficient as collecting a RateMyAgent review. So to give you an idea, our numbers show that if you request a review via the RateMyAgent platform, around about 55 to 60% of the time, your customer will actually post that review and you'll capture that review into our system. If you request a review directly to Google, the numbers tell us that they'll only post it around about 10% of the time, 10 to 15% of the time. And the reason for that is with RateMyAgent, you don't need an account. You don't need to set up a profile. You don't need to do any of those sorts of things to leave a review on RateMyAgent. I think as everyone knows, you send the review request, your customer clicks the link, they type in the review, they push submit, and it's done. 50% of our reviews come via mobile devices. We have a very high strike rate. With Google, to leave a review, you need some sort of Google account, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Gmail, some sort of Google account to leave a review there. And that's a barrier to entry for a lot of people. That barrier means that I think in Australia, only about 30% of people have a Gmail account in Australia. Don't quote me on that, but it's not a huge amount. So Review conversion is really, really important. Capturing the review, and then we syndicate. So capture 55 to 60% of reviews first, and then we can syndicate them into Google. So I'm going to just quickly show you how that works in Google reviews. And I'm also going to show you here that a lot of people don't really know about Google posts. We can get 100% of your Rate My Agent reviews into this Google post section. And it just goes through our social media manager. You hook up your Gmail, your Google My Business account, and it posts automatically in there. So they're the two things I really want to show you today. So let's go into it. Let me just get rid of this screen here, and let me show you how, oops, get rid of that. Got a whole lot of our guys at the beach. Get rid of that and come here. So what I've got here is the process. So Jamie's requested a review, and this is the email, as everyone knows. It goes out to his customer. They click on that link and they type in the review, and this is the review that's been typed in. And once they submit the review, the customer will see this pop up. So when you're a pro subscriber on Rate My Agent, it sits under our pro subscription. This Google review prompt will pop up. It also pops up for Facebook as well, but I'm just showing you Google at this stage. And all the customer needs to do is to click Google review, and it takes them to this page. One click, they see the review that they've got, they click copy your review, and then they click take me to Google. Let me get rid of this thing here. Then they click take me to Google, and it instantly opens up your Google My Business review page. So all they need to do is click on the stars. They've already copied the review, so they don't need to write it out again. There it is, the review's done. This is the huge benefit of this, that the agent doesn't need to write the review again. They've already written it at Rate My Agent, and within 3 clicks, we can get it across into Google. And then if I click post there, I go into Jamie's profile here, and there you see the reviews being posted into Google My Business. So it's as simple as that. It's using that existing process, and it's getting those reviews syndicated across into Google reviews. Now, if the customer doesn't have a Google account like that, or some sort of Google account, they may well need to set up that account. So we can't guarantee 100% of those reviews will go across into Google reviews, because the same limitation that Google has, because you need some sort of Google account, we can't get around that. Nobody can get around that. But we find that because we're making it so easy for the customer, they've already written the review, they don't have to rewrite it. They just need, if they don't have a Gmail, some sort of a Google account, they need to set one up. But we're finding now that even our response rate, getting our reviews across into Google, is better than Google's itself. It's sitting somewhere around 20%. We'd love to get it higher, but we still have that limitation. So getting those reviews into Google, I'm going to come back over to here now. And you can see here from Jamie's point of view, if I click on his Google reviews, you can see this first review here says local knowledge expert. If I go into his profile, you can see here local knowledge expert. So his most recent review originated in Rate My Agent. This other one here says our great experience with Jamie. If I come back to his profile, our great experience with Jamie. So his second reviews come via Rate My Agent. And if you see this one here, Jamie is genuine, and I come over here, Jamie is genuine. So since he set up his Google My Business profile, which we only launched a week ago, his last 3 reviews have been syndicated into his Google My Business profile. He hasn't had to send out a second review request. He hasn't had to bother his client by making them do multiple things. It's automatically syndicated across into Google reviews. So when anyone searches for, does a search for Jamie, I've just written in Jamie Hill and his agency here. You see his Google My Business listing comes up, and we've already populated his profile with reviews. So it's already working for Jamie as it should. There's one other thing to show you with the reviews though, and that's here. You'll notice that when I'm back into Jamie's dashboard, when I click on reviews here, you'll see that we've got a new review tab here. So we are, not only are we syndicating the reviews across into Google, but we're also importing them back into Jamie's profile. And you can see here, these are all the reviews that Jamie's received. He can reply to the reviews via RateMyAgent, so he doesn't need to log into Google My Business as well to write a reply. He can actually reply. He can see the reviews being posted coming in. He's replied to all of them so far, but if he hasn't replied to them, it'll say not replied, and it'll have a reply button there. He can reply, he can delete the reply, he can edit the reply. So what he can do here is, it's 100% of his management of Google reviews is being handled by his RateMyAgent dashboard. It's bloody awesome, to tell you the truth. So he's not having to log into multiple platforms. He can manage his RateMyAgent profile, his Google reviews completely from his RateMyAgent profile. Into the future, and we haven't built this out yet, but into the future, these reviews, if they will be able to come back into, so if he's already got other Google reviews that didn't originate from RateMyAgent, he'll be able to make them appear on his RateMyAgent profile as well, and will completely close the loop around Google reviews. So as I said, we think Google reviews are really, really important. We think Google My Business is really, really important, but we also think it's really important to not make your customers post the same thing multiple times onto multiple review platforms. And that's really what review syndication is all about. Just making sure we don't have any questions here. Is this beneficial for smaller agencies? Won't the bigger agencies with more reviews always be highlighted and more prominent? I think, unfortunately, that's just the case across the board. I mean, bigger agencies that list more properties will be more prominent everywhere because they just list more properties. So I don't think that, for that question about I still think it's beneficial for small agencies, for boutique agencies, because what you're really harnessing here is what we call the organic traffic, the organic search. So it's when someone comes into Google and they type in your agency's name or they type in your name as an agent, we're really controlling what they find here. So Google My Business is a response to what they see when they search for those key terms, whether it's your agency name, whether it's your own agent name, with your individual name, it's what they see here. So it's really making sure that you can populate this with as much information as possible. So I hope that answers your question. It's absolutely beneficial for smaller agencies, small agents who don't do as much business, or bigger agencies. It's really about taking control. Here's a stat that not many people know. It doesn't matter what any group says. Whether it's RateMyAgent or realestate.com or Domain or whoever it is, more than half of all traffic across the web originates from Google. So I'll say that again. More than half of all traffic across the web originates from Google, from organic search. So you need to understand, everyone needs to understand that, I'm just looking at questions as I'm talking. Everyone needs to understand that you must control and take control of your organic traffic. And this is your organic traffic, taking control of what people see when they search for you. 50% of all traffic originates from Google. If you're not controlling what they see here, you are missing out on what 50% of your traffic sees. Manuel's asked here, can we transfer our existing reviews from RateMyAgent into Google My Business? So Manuel, it's only new reviews that are being syndicated across at the moment, but we are actually working on a system. The guys have done a hell of a lot of work on this, and this is where we say we're always evolving this, where you'll be able to send a review prompt back to people that have already written a review for you on RateMyAgent, prompting them to go through that process. So it's not there as it stands today, but it absolutely is on our roadmap, and we're not far away from releasing that. So yeah, cool. So now let's talk about another area of Google My Business, and that's this section here in Google Posts. Not many people know about Google Posts, but if they search your name, you want to make sure that, again, you've got as much information about you as possible, and your reviews. Everyone knows the stat that RateMyAgent rolls out. People might get sick of it, but the fact is 97% of consumers are now looking for reviews. You've got to make sure they can find your reviews everywhere they look. And Google Posts is really, really important. So we can syndicate 100% of reviews into Google Posts. So let me just quickly show you how that works. As I said here, Jamie's already got his Google My Business listing connected. So when he goes into Social Media Manager and he looks at his schedule, he'll now see that his Google My Business is active. So within for people who haven't used our Social Media Manager before, support@ratemyagent.com, we can certainly help you with this, but it's really, really simple. Google My Business is connected. So Jamie has set this, I think this is a really nice frequency. He wants to post a new review into Google My Business, 7 a.m. every Monday. He can change that. He can change it to every day. I think that's too much personally. I think that it should be weekly, but that's a personal choice. He chooses to post it at 7 a.m. Monday. He can change that to whatever day he wants. And once that's set up, it's done. It's set and forget. So then every Monday at 7 o'clock, let me go in here. So you can see 2 days ago, which was Monday at 7 a.m., he posted that review into Google. If I click on that there, you can see the review. And if I click on Learn More, it takes him straight into that full review in Rate My Agent. So he's now exposing that review into another area. He's not only syndicating reviews into Google reviews, he's also syndicating into Google Posts. As most people will know, you can syndicate into Facebook through Rate My Agent, into LinkedIn, into Twitter, onto your own website via our API, into a whole range of areas. So it's just a part of that process. I've got a question there. I'll get to that in a second. So we're not making you do more work. We're using the existing work, your existing systems. If you're requesting reviews at Rate My Agent, that's all you need to do. Once you set this up, it's just done. It will syndicate into Google Reviews. We'll try and get as many into Google Reviews as possible. We can't guarantee 100%, but we'll use our best endeavors to get as many across there as possible. We'll beat Google anyway because they've already written the review, but we'll get all the reviews into those Google posts as well. We'll syndicate them into Facebook for you. We'll syndicate them into LinkedIn for you. We'll get them all over the place. As you can, I'm pretty excited about this because it's pretty bloody cool. So that's it. So that's really, that's Rate My Agent for, let me stop sharing here. Stop share. So that's really it. That's Rate My Agent for, sorry, Google My Business for agents. It's really simple to set up. If you don't have a pro subscription at an agent level at the moment, you can take that out. If you've got an agency subscription at the moment, we are still at a pro level. It will be, Google My Business will still be connected to your agency. We've got a little bit of work to do there, so stay tuned on that. But if you'd like to access Google My Business for as an individual agent, you can contact us, or you can get that set up now. I've got a few questions here. I think this is Greer Property asks, are they only new reviews or old ones? So I think I answered that question. At the moment, it's only new reviews that have been syndicated across into Google Reviews. Old ones will get syndicated into Google Posts, so that's fine. But we are working on a system at the moment that will allow you to prompt people who posted a review into Rate My Agent to get them within those same 3 clicks to syndicate them into Google Reviews. So it's not live as we stand at the moment, but it's not far away from being live, and we'll certainly give you those tools to do that. Zeno asks here, so how is it the post selected to pop into Google Posts via the auto function? So how is it the post selected to pop? The way it chooses, the review that it chooses, the question that's been asked there is, how does Rate My Agent choose the review to post? So what it does is it just picks up the most recent review. It's as simple as that. The most recent review will be posted into Google Posts. If for any reason, I'm going to share my screen again here. If for any reason you don't want a review to be posted, if I click on reviews here, and I click on completed reviews, you'll notice there's a button here that says publish externally. So if for any reason you don't want a review posted into Social Media Manager, into Facebook, or to Google Reviews, or into Google Posts, if you just unclick that button, our system will skip that one and we'll pick up the next one. But essentially, it's just the most recent review that it will post. So I hope that answers your question, Zeno. Okay, I'm just looking at any more questions here. I don't think we've got any more questions, so I think I've covered everything here. Garrison, and what happens if a client surprisingly puts up a negative review? Good question, Garrison. So we will only prompt them to post into Google if it's a 3-star or above. So that's a really, really good question. If someone posts a negative review, and as you say, in the unlikely event, because we know that good agents get really great positive feedback, but if it's a 3-star or below, it will not prompt the customer or the client to post into Google reviews. So I hope that answers your question, Garrison, there. Interested to learn how to get posts into Google and also reviews into Facebook. So you'll notice there, Zeno, that we can actually, this linked accounts, we'll do one on Facebook another time. This is just about Google, but within the linked accounts section, you can link Facebook, and we can also get reviews syndicated across into Facebook reviews. Personally, I think Google reviews are more important because of that organic traffic. Because 50% of traffic originates from Google, I think it's much more important to focus on Google reviews and then secondary Facebook reviews, because we can get it into your Facebook stream, your Facebook wall, through other mechanisms, and we're just not seeing that Facebook reviews are as powerful as Google reviews. But hey, that's a personal preference. If you don't want to hook up your GMB account, you can certainly just hook up your Facebook account and get it syndicated there. Jay asks, what if you haven't had a new review in the past week? If you haven't had a review in the past week, it doesn't matter. So what our Google post syndication is doing is just posting one every week. It could be a review that was received 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. So there's two things to look at, Jay, there. One is the frequency of how often the review is posted, and the other one is the date the review posted. So don't worry about the date the review posted. It will just pick up the most recent, even if it's more than a week, and it will just do that every week. So I've got a message here that says, Mark, share, okay, if you can. So I've got a success story from Brett. What is this, Brett? Okay, I'm just going to read this out. I hope it's good. I am a small office in an area with all the major agents in, should I say this? It was in Victoria. And I'm getting more appraisals now off Google My Business as a result of RMA reviews than I have ever. So there you go. Look, I'm glad that was positive, but that's just some feedback that we've had from a Victorian agent. I'm not going to give out your name there, but yeah, look, Google My Business is really important. I just can't emphasize that enough, how important, Google My Business is to really be, we call it the top of the funnel. The top of the funnel is organic traffic, and you've got to put your best foot forward at the top of the funnel. That's what it's all about. So what we highly recommend, I'm going to go in a minute because I've already rambled on. So I think I've just got to follow up there that the response from Facebook and LinkedIn hasn't been great, but this is from the person who just told us the same thing about Google. But so it just goes to show, our research shows that Google My Business is really the place to be. And what we highly recommend is you go through the process of setting up your Google My Business listing. They call it a listing. It gets confusing, but the Google My Business listing. We will put some information and send you information by contrast. We'll send you some information around how to do that. It's completely free, so we highly recommend you do it. Sometimes it can be a bit tricky. Sometimes they need to send out a postcard to verify your location. Sometimes you can verify via mobile, but we highly recommend you go through the process. In the US now, this is a well-worn path. As everyone knows, we're growing quite rapidly in the US, and so many agents in the US already have a Google My Business listing. So it's really, really important that as an agent, you go out there and send it up. You set it up. As I say, it's completely free. Stephen's telling me I've got to give you one more plug about the 20% discount. So Stephen, yeah, in all seriousness, we do have a special offer at the moment where if you want to upgrade to a pro subscription and take control of your Google My Business listing, we do have a special offer where you'll get a 20% discount if you pay up front. You just contact us at support@ratemyagent.com.au and we'll certainly get one of our team to help you set up. It can be a bit awkward to set up initially, but once it's set up, it's set up. So we're certainly here, our support team's here to help you set that up and support you through the process. I've got another message here. Can you mention how to set up Google a business account as opposed to having your own personal account? How about existing clients with pro subscriptions? So if you're an existing agent with a pro subscription, you can go there and you can set up you can link your Google My Business page right now. We're not charging any more. If you're already a pro subscriber agent, this is a value add. We're not charging more for this. You can do it. There is a bit of a sort of a tweak we need to make where if you're covered by an agency subscription, your agency currently has control. So it's a bit of a blockage, but just rest assured that we're working through that at the moment. We had some feedback and we agreed with the feedback and we need to resolve that. But for most people at the moment, you can certainly go through with your existing Google My Business. The limitation here is you can really only connect one account to your profile, either your individual Google My Business or your agency Google My Business. And the reason for that is we really don't want to make the client have to post into two Google My Business platforms. That's really the limitation here. It's a limitation of Google, and it's trying to take the workload off your clients, so we're not making them do a whole lot of things and not we're not sort of really wasting their time. So I think that's it. I'm not sure if I've got any more questions, or maybe I do. I keep forgetting to scroll down. So I can join Rate My Agent as a single agent without my, yes. So you can absolutely join Rate My Agent as a single agent. You don't need support from your agency. In actual fact, Rate My Agent absolutely took off because of the support of individual agents. It was agents that loved our platform first. We support agencies and we support agents as well. So if your agency doesn't want to use this product, then you as an individual agent absolutely can use it. Can you set the minimum amount of stars to get posted? So at the moment, for example, it's only if you only want 4-star reviews to be posted. At the moment, we've set it to 3-star and above. I think that's probably something easily that we can change, but contact us if you want more information about that. But at the moment, we prompt them to post into Google reviews if it's a 3-star and above. So when I try to connect to Google My Business, a dialog box says, allowing Rate My Agent to edit, delete my Google My listing. What does that mean, please? If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't know. Please contact our support team. We certainly do need, when you connect your Google My Business listing to Rate My Agent, it does give Rate My Agent access to post and do things on your behalf. I'm not convinced about what that means about edit or delete. So there might be a misunderstanding there. So that's an anonymous comment there, but that would surprise me if we had control to edit or delete your Google My Business listing. So something doesn't sound right there. So please contact support@ratemyagent.com and we'll certainly take a closer look at that for you. If a subscription is taken up as an agency, will it post all salespersons under the agency? Yeah, so the answer to that is if a subscription is taken out by an agency and the agency links their Google My Business listing, and let's say there's 5 agents that work for that agency, then it absolutely will get all of that data, all of those reviews, and it will syndicate all of that up into the Google My Business listing. So you can have a Google My Business listing connected to your agency, where it's all the agents within the agency that gets the review syndication, or you can do it as an individual agent profile to individual agent listing. So it's really up to you. For Rate My Agent, it's not our job to dictate how you use this. It's our job to build flexibility into the platform. So we really give you the tools. And as I said before, we've got a little glitch, not a glitch, but a little thing to massage through that's not giving complete flexibility and control. And we're aware of it. But the ultimate aim of Rate My Agent is to give you complete control. So absolutely, you can do this at agency level. You can do it at individual agent level. It's however you choose to do it. I think have I got any more questions here? I think I've answered all the questions. So if there's no other questions, which I don't think there is, there's one that's just come through. Thank you for your support. Could you please let me know how do we get review from all the clients? So I might, Mega, I might save that one to get reviews. I might, if you contact our support team, we have some great support articles around how to get reviews, but it's really just about setting up your Rate My Agent profile and start requesting reviews. If you contact our support team at ratemyagent.com.au, they'll certainly, I've got so many messages coming through at the moment. They'll certainly get in touch and send you a support article on how to do that. How much is the subscription, please? So the subscription at agent level is $99 a month. It can be covered under, as I said, there's a little slight tweak there to you ultimately will be able to have this covered under your agency subscription as well. We are providing a 20% discount if you'd like to do it for 12 months up front. So as I said, contact us at support@ratemyagent.com.au. We'll certainly get one of our support team to talk you through and apply any discount there for you, and also fill in any gaps. So with that last question, I think I'm done. I don't think there's any more questions coming through. As I said, we're really rapt about launching this new product. I can tell you that it's probably the question we get asked the most from agents is saying, when are we going to do it? So we're rapt that we've launched it. If anyone has questions, if there's something, if it doesn't work the right way, hey guys, we're learning as much as you guys. So if there's feedback, we love feedback. You know, the old saying is feedback is a gift. So if you do have questions around how this works and how it's going to evolve over time, please just get in touch with us. As I said, this is just the first iteration of Google My Business for Agents. We've got a lot of other things in the pipeline to build out. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking the time. We'll be back in another 2 weeks. I'm not exactly sure what the topic will be in 2 weeks' time, unless Emma wants to tell me. But I think we're going to have I think in 2 weeks we're going to have a real refresher around a whole lot of new features that have been built in. Emma's just told me SEO. That's right. We did talk about that during the week. So we're going to do a really great session on SEO and how to harness SEO. I think, you know, I'm rambling now, but that idea that you know, taking control of the top of the funnel, that 50% of organic traffic. I can tell you at Rate My Agent, we focus on organic traffic. We focus on SEO, and our SEO, our organic traffic has doubled since the start of the year, or more than doubled since the start of the year. And it's something that we really focus on. And every one of your reviews on Rate My Agent has been optimized from an SEO point of view. Google My Business is Google doesn't let us know exactly how it benefits SEO, but Google loves content, and getting more content into your Google My Business listing will help with SEO as well. So we're going to talk about that in a couple of weeks' time. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you all soon. Cheers.